Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. I hope you're all well. It's been a decent day of football. I have to say, across Europe, the football today's been unbelievable. The Premier League, a bit disappointing in terms of results, but decent games nonetheless. And obviously now a ton of pressure on Arsenal tomorrow to go and get the win because obviously we've seen, City, Liverpool, Spurs all win, which is frustrating. It is frustrating. It would have been nice for at least one of them to drop points, but they didn't. Welcome to the people watching on TikTok as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. 9 and 9 trophy. 9 trophies being done today. Magnus, good to see you on YouTube. How are you doing? Ross Lawman as well. Good to see you. Arteta or Alonso? I've got to stick with Arteta. Do you know what? Right? If Arteta was doing what Alonso was doing, people would just be saying, "Well, he hasn't won anything yet." I don't get me wrong, right? I think the job that Alonso's doing is absolutely sensational, but he hasn't won anything yet. Am I doing a watch along tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, we're doing a watch along tomorrow for the West Ham game. Very excited. I haven't done a watch along in ages. Ethan Udell, Kaspar, good to see you. I'm very well, thank you, Ethan. We have to get early goals tomorrow. Yeah, we do. I think West Ham are gonna do what they do, sit in deep, and it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. Look, I do think we're gonna win it, and I think we're gonna win it quite comfortably, but it will be tough. Name a football team for an edit. Plymouth Argyle. There you go. Leo, good to see you. But yeah, I don't know. What game did you watch this evening? If you watched football this evening, what game did you watch? Did you watch Madrid? Did you watch Leverkusen against Bayern? Did you watch, obviously, Forest against Newcastle? I was trying to watch all three, and I was trying to watch England against Wales in the rugby as well. So it was absolute carnage. I think I spent the majority of my time watching the Leverkusen game and the rugby. But because the thing was, Madrid, it was quite clear early on that Madrid were just spanking Girona. Do guess the Gooner? Guess the Gooner will be in a little bit. Guess the Gooner will be at about 10:30. I watched Madrid. They destroyed Girona. Yeah, they did. That was class from Madrid. You've got to give it to them. Look, obviously you would expect Madrid to beat Girona generally, but that's their title rivals this season. It genuinely is their title rivals this season. They'd already beaten them once this season, and then they've gone and beaten them again, and they've done it in style. Vinicius Jr. was electric, as was Jude Bellingham. Do you want Tomiyasu to start? No, I don't. I would start Tomiyasu at left back if Zinchenko is injured, actually, yeah. If Zinchenko is injured, I would start him at left back. I wouldn't start him at right back, though. I think Ben White's all right at the moment. Clean sheet with no centre-backs is impressive. It is. SS9, good to see you. Everyone in the YouTube chat, you're all legends. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to join in on YouTube, feel free to jump over. You haven't done 9 and 9 on your account? I have done 9 and 9, Sinner. Sinner, tranquilo, calma. I have done 9 and 9 today. No, I'm not going to spoil it for people that haven't watched it yet, but the 9 and 9 has been done. Is Saka injured? He got a slight knock. It's on the Rory Talks More channel, Sinner. It's on Rory Talks More. Yeah, Saka got a knock last week, but I think he's going to be all right. Is tonight a gaming stream? No, it's not. In the future, it will be a gaming stream. In the future, from like 10 until midnight, I'll be chilling out on games and talking to you, but I haven't got it set up yet because I'm a bit of a useless donkey. What's your lineup for tomorrow? My lineup for tomorrow. Daily AFC contents in the chat. What a legend. Who won the rugby? England. England beat Wales just. Wasn't a brilliant game from England, to be honest. We've had 2 poor games realistically against Italy and Wales, but we've got 2 wins. So Rory Talks More. Yeah, there's only on TikTok, T Fisher. I've got 3 accounts on TikTok. There's Rory Talks Football, Rory Talks More, and Rory Talks Arsenal. Do I like Havertz as a false 9? I do. I think Havertz is good as a false 9. Anyway, my lineup for tomorrow. Someone asked me what my lineup for tomorrow would be. Raya in goal, obviously, who I think is really beginning to come into his own. It definitely took him some time to settle, but I think he's getting a lot better. White at right back, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu on the assumption that Zinchenko's not fit. Rice, Smith Rowe, Erdegaard, Saka, Jesus if he's fit, Martinelli. Havertz if Jesus isn't fit is what I would go for. Kane going to the one team. Kane going to the one team league for the title and failing to win the title is just so Spursy. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. The last vid was when you said skulls, nibbles on toes. Yeah, that was today. You might be in a Sinai, you might be in a different country where you've been to sleep since I uploaded that, but it's the same day for me. I uploaded that at lunchtime, and now it's the evening. Do you reckon Timber goes straight in for Zinchenko when he's back? No, I don't, because from that sort of injury, that sort of layoff, it'll be really slow bringing him back in. It'll be 20 minutes here, half an hour there, 45. Like it'll take a while to build him up. I don't think he'll play consistent starting a consistent starting role until next season, to be honest. I don't. Jorginho deserves a start after his man of the match. Yeah, the only thing with Jorginho is I've seen quite a few things saying that he's carrying an injury. He's been carrying an injury all season. There was one game that he missed because of it. It's not like a severe injury, but it's something that he can't get rid of. And so it feels like we're kind of where we can, just holding him back until the big games. And so I don't think playing him against West Ham is necessary. Casparbs has become a member on YouTube. What an absolute legend. What a legend Casparbs is. Thank you very much. We are, I think that makes you're the 9th member of the YouTube channel. So what an absolute hero. What an absolute hero. Timber probably won't start until the end of March. There's such a high risk of re-injury after such a long time out. Yeah, I'd say even the end of March, I'd say is being a bit optimistic there. I don't think it'll. I honestly wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't until the end of the season. Are you confident we're going to win tomorrow? I am. I'm confident that we'll win tomorrow. Predictions for Chelsea versus Palace. I mean, it's the sort of game that's not actually a good game for Chelsea, right? In terms of the teams that they've struggled to beat this season, but Palace on the form that they're in without Elise and Eze, who are both injured. Mate, anything other than a Chelsea win, I would be very surprised. I'd be very surprised. There's some good games tomorrow, actually. You've got, the Chelsea game's Monday night, isn't it? Chelsea game's Monday night, but you've got Villa against United and Arsenal against West Ham tomorrow. That's some decent football. Chelsea will win, I think. Yeah, I think so. What is the Kane curse everyone is on about? The Kane curse is the fact that he went from Tottenham Hotspur, who couldn't win any trophies, to the club that is almost guaranteed a trophy every single year because they win the league every year in Bayern Munich, and now they're 5 points behind Bayer Leverkusen in the league. It's that's the Kane curse. That is the Kane curse. How many years is it? Is it 10 years in a row that Bayern Munich had won the Bundesliga? Maybe even more. When was the last time? I think Dortmund won it in 11-12 with Gundogan. Was that the last time a team? I think that was the last time a non-Bayern team won the Bundesliga. 11 years, yeah. Yeah, 12 years since Klopp and Dortmund. So, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. I mean, it just would be so funny. It just would be so funny. It just would. Rank the Arsenal kits from 1 to 3. This year, I would say dark green 1, red 2, and the fucking stupid high-vis jacket 3. That shirt has not grown on me at all this season. The away kit has not grown on me at all. And when you consider we wore this top, which is such a nice shirt, we wore this like twice, 3 times. Absolute disgracia. Absolute disgracia. We need more pink kits. I think there have been a couple of leaks supposedly for next season's. but I don't know if I trust them. Did you say Jesus is back? Maybe. Arteta gave nothing away in the press conference yesterday, so he said there's a few players that are in contention to be back, and then he was asked specifically about Jesus, and he said there's no news. So I don't know. But they weren't expecting it to be anything long, which is actually more concerning for me because it seems like they actually think it's going to be a recurring thing. And if Jesus can't play more than if he can't play more than once a week because he keeps getting this fluid on his knee, that is problematic. Are we going to make any signings in the summer, or is FFP restricting us again? No, summer will be fine. Summer will be fine because then because FFP works in blocks of 3 years. In the summer, we write off everything that we spent in the summer of 3 years ago, whatever that was, and obviously you've then also got Champions League money, new Premier League money, all the rest of it. So we've also got a load of new commercial sponsorship deals as well. So I think we're going to spend quite a lot in the summer. Love how Arteta talks about Love how Arteta talks about his latest example is Tomiyasu, my manager. Yeah. Actually, speaking about that, so Gabriel did an interview today or yesterday because Gabriel was obviously named or nominated for Premier League Player of the Month, and he was speaking about obviously the fact that he was dropped at the start of the season. He said it was tough. He said it was tough at the start. I've put my phone in the way of the fucking screen. That was dumb. He said it was tough at the start. I wanted to play, and it was very difficult for me. I understand what the coach had to do, though. It's difficult for any player not to be in the team, but now I'm back. I want to keep working hard to prove my worth. He then says so basically Saudi Arabia wanted to buy him in the summer. Now, there are rumors that Saudi Arabia wanted to buy him for £170 million. I don't believe that. But he says that he was convinced to stay at the club after talking to Mikel Arteta. So Mikel Arteta wanted to keep him. If Gabriel Magalhaes was... I just cannot believe that they would want to spend 170 million 170 on Gabriel Magalhaes. Not to disrespect him at all, because I do think he's genuinely one of the most underrated centre-backs at least in the Premier League, and I love him. But 170 million just doesn't make sense. You could have got Van Dijk for 170 million. And respectfully to Gabriel, he's not like a massive name. Jordan, thank you very much. It's good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. As good as Gabriel is, he's not like a household name yet. He's not like a Virgil van Dijk. So I just can't believe they'd spend 170 million. I also can't believe that if they did spend offer 170 million, that Arsenal wouldn't take it. Because realistically, for what you could then go into the European market with 170 million quid and buy, you could replace Gabriel and then some. So I don't believe it, but I do believe that Saudi Arabia inquired and wanted to buy him for some amount of money, and Arteta didn't want to let him go anyway. So that's decent. If we got a bit of 170 million, I'd probably say you have to take that. Yeah, exactly. Would love to do the giveaway idea, Rory. Next time game is Newcastle. Definitely. Oh, Casper, it's you. I didn't even realize it was you. Yeah, we should do that. I'll talk to you. I'll message you. Hey, Rory, do you know are mystery champions reliable? I think I remember you being sponsored by them before, just wondering. Yeah, mystery champions are reliable. They're good. The one thing I'd say with mystery shirt boxes, right, is if you're buying a mystery shirt box to try and make a profit on a shirt, the mystery shirts are 35 quid. If you're doing it to try and get a shirt that's 70 or 80 quid, and that's the only reason you're doing it, I probably wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. If you're doing it because you genuinely just want to get a random kit and you enjoy wearing different football shirts, then 100% go for it. That would be my advice when it comes to mystery shirts. Because I love doing it for that reason. Some of the shirts that I've got, I left some of them when I moved out, but I had an Adana Demirspor shirt from the Turkish league, and then I looked them up, and it turned out there's loads of players that I reckon Loic Remy, Balotelli. There's loads of players that were playing for them that I had no idea, and so then I started checking on how Adana Demirspor were doing. I find it quite enjoyable, but yeah, I wouldn't do it if you're just trying to kind of make a profit and it's a gift for a friend. Oh yeah, brilliant gift for a friend, 100%. Where do you think we'll finish this season? I think we'll finish second. I think Man City win it, we come second, and Liverpool come third. That's my honest prediction. I think the title will be very tight between Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Who do you think will win it? Not biased involved. I do think Man City are going to win it. I look at games like today, and it does just feel like an inevitability. Their entire squad is fit, which is insane. I just can't see beyond them. Who's your Partey replacement? Well, so yesterday it came out, and a lot of people were talking about it. Frankie de Jong is interested in leaving Barcelona this summer. Now, Frankie de Jong would be the best signing, the best midfield signing we could make. I think he's not been at his best this season, but he is a ridiculous talent. Arteta's right toe. Good to see you. Yeah, absolutely missed you. I think Frankie de Jong would be the one to go and get. I don't care how much groundwork we've done for Zubamendi. I'd go and get Frankie de Jong. The issue is he's on 700 grand a week. The other issue is I'm not sure that he's actually getting paid that at the moment. I know that Barcelona have so many financial issues. So he'd have to take a massive pay cut, and I still don't think we'd pay it. But a midfield of Rice playing as the proper six that he wants to be, with then De Jong and Ødegaard, unbelievable. Why is Arteta on the Epstein flight log? Arteta isn't on the Epstein flight log. That list of names was the people who were the first famous people to get COVID. I don't know why people still think that was Epstein's flight log. Smith Rowe will have such a point to prove tomorrow after him instantly rejecting West Ham. 100% has to start. Yeah, I'd love it. Him and Rice in midfield, both proving points against West Ham would be good. How's he on 700k? Yeah, that was just what Barcelona agreed to spend him, which is why he's one of the reasons that Barcelona had to keep pulling freaking levers left, right, and centre. That midfield three is too defensive. Oh, I disagree completely. Frankie de Jong is an 8 that can carry the ball out and play through the lines. And then you've got Ødegaard, who's the most... Ødegaard has created more chances from open play than any midfielder in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe this season. He scored 15 goals in the Premier League last season. Martin Ødegaard is more than enough. Would rather have a more attacking midfielder than Frankie de Jong, a la Gundogan. I think Frankie de Jong can be more attacking. I think Frankie de Jong can. I think as an 8, he's certainly more attacking than someone like Jorginho, who played really well alongside Rice against Liverpool. Depends on the game, right? I think there would be some games where you can just still have Emil Smith Rowe there. But that midfield would be saucy. I hate Trossard in midfield. Yeah, I don't like Trossard in midfield. Xabi Alonso, Liverpool win the treble. So, actually, this is a good talking point, right? Xabi Alonso to Liverpool. Obviously, so many people do think that Xabi Alonso is going to go to Liverpool, which I get. It makes sense, right? It just does make sense. But is there an argument that it wouldn't be the best idea for Xabi Alonso to go to Liverpool right now or at the end of the season? Because if you look at clubs, when they lose a manager who's been there for a long time and really has become a massive part of that club, you look at when Wenger left Arsenal, Emery had an awful time, realistically. And then it was the bounce after Emery where Arteta really got it going. I mean, since Fergie at Man United, they still haven't found the right manager. But it was certainly bad for Moyes, and Moyes definitely wasn't given as much time as other people. So, look, I'm not saying that he won't go there, and I'm not saying he shouldn't go there, but it's a big move early in his career into a situation where historically that situation can go quite badly. And some people have said it here. AA said it. Xabi Alonso might go to Madrid. Now, this is what I could actually see happening, right? Ancelotti's actually having a really, really good season at Real Madrid, and I think he's just signed another 2-year deal. But Ancelotti stays at Madrid. Xabi Alonso stays at Bayer Leverkusen for one more season to see out, he's got them to the Champions League, presumably, might win Bundesliga. He takes them into their first, the season in the Champions League, stays for another season. Ancelotti finishes at Real Madrid at the end of the next season, and Xabi Alonso goes to Real Madrid. That is also an option. Why are you on so late? because I didn't want to stream at 6:30, right? Because there was loads of football on that I wanted to watch, and England were playing rugby. So I thought I'd come on at 10. But also, I'm going to be streaming from 10 till midnight, pretty much every day. They're going to be gaming streams, so you'll need to follow me on Twitch or on YouTube. But yeah, from 10 till midnight most days, I'm going to be live anyway in the future. Hopefully, starting on Monday, actually. Why would he leave Leverkusen when he's doing brilliant with Champions League football? Well, that's the point, right? I think he would do at least one season with Leverkusen. I think that would be good. Why would long term, if you get the opportunity to go to a Madrid or a Liverpool, with meaning absolutely no disrespect to Bayer Leverkusen, that is that's a bigger job, right? Today's game was testament to his caliber. He's right for Liverpool. Oh man, today he got it absolutely bang on. They've got injuries as well, and he got it absolutely bang on. He schooled Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel, I don't really understand what he's doing. I'm sat there. I'll be honest, right? I am sat there watching Eric Dyer, and I'm confused. I am confused. Like, don't get me wrong, De Ligt hasn't gone on to be the monstrous centre back that he looked like he could have gone on to be when he was at Ajax, right? But he's better than Eric Dyer. Like, you just sat there watching it. It's madness, absolute madness. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? I could not care less about the Super Bowl. Genuinely, I don't know how people do it. There was one year when I was at uni, and one of the bars stayed open to do the Super Bowl. And obviously it was uni, so I had nothing going on in my life. And so we went and watched Super Bowl. And I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. We were there for about 4 hours. The game it's only an hour-long game. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're scared of Xabi Alonso in the Premier League? I'm not scared of Xabi. This is what I am not scared of Xabi Alonso. I think it would be brilliant for the Premier League. I think Arteta's Arsenal, a Xabi Alonso Liverpool, that would be brilliant. Did you see Klopp copying Arteta's fist pump? They need to create their own celebrations. I did. Klopp copied Arteta by getting booked as well. What games do you play? Why? So I mainly, obviously, I don't play any games on stream at the moment, which I'm going to do. I mainly play FIFA. I mainly just play Ultimate Team, but I don't know if I want to play FIFA on stream or if I want to actually start play, because there's so many games that I see them come out and I'm like, oh, I want to play that, and then I just don't get around to it, and I wonder if maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll just let people decide what game I play. I quite like the idea of doing some sort of solo single player games and stuff. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Similar to Klopp with Trent and Robertson. What? Grimaldo and Frimpong? Yeah. I mean, Grimaldo, they signed him on a free. That's unbelievable. Pro clubs with fans? Maybe. Hope Rory isn't a semi-pro merchant on FIFA. I don't play against the computer on FIFA. I can't do it. I don't understand. People that play squad battles or career mode and stuff like that, I don't get it. Because if I ever lose against the computer, I'm just like, well, the computer's just cheated. So I can't do it. Especially if if I'm taking a penalty against the computer on FIFA, it's like the computer knows which way I'm going. It knows which way. So if it saves it, obviously it saved it because it knows which way I'm going. So I can't deal with it. I get immense head loss very quickly. Tom with a super chat on YouTube, €2. Thank you very much. He says, Rory, I have no message, but I love your content. Thank you, Tom. I massively, massively do appreciate that. That's very kind of you. What are your score predictions for the 2 games tomorrow? I'm going Arsenal 4, West Ham 1, and I'm going Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 3. That's what I'm going for. I've seen a couple of people gift some roses on TikTok as well. That is very generous of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Who is your ideal striker in the summer? You go for Osimhen, you fall back on Tony. That's what you do in the summer. In my opinion, you go all out for Osimhen, you fall back on Tony. Bold 4-1. Yeah, I just feel like I just feel like after West Ham have beaten us twice so far this season, I feel like the Arsenal players are just really going to want to do it. You know what I mean? How do you think we'll do over the two legs against Porto? I think we'll be fine. I could see us going there and getting it because we play away first in Porto. I could see us coming away with like a 1-1 draw there. And then I think at home we'd be absolutely fine. Do you think Tierney has a future with us? Nah. Sadly not. And I don't think we'll sell him for much money either, to be honest, because he's gone on loan to Real Sociedad. He's been injured a bunch of times. They've brought in a left back in January to deal with the fact that of how often he's injured. So I just don't think we'll even sell him for that much, unfortunately. It's a shame, you know. I love Tierney, but it's just not gone right for him. Did you see Neville saying Arsenal always concede a goal every game as we're lacking with Raya? Yeah, we have the best defense in the league. Neville's just like clueless. These people, they say things. They say things and they're just wrong. They are just wrong. It's ridiculous. Lukonga has a future. I do think Lukonga has a future. Yeah, I think Lukonga will be in the squad next season. We spoke about this on stream a few days ago, but for me, I think our midfield next season, assuming that we lose Partey, we lose El Neni, basically our midfielders that are a 6 or a more defensive-minded 8, you've got Rice, Jorginho, a new signing, and Sambi Lukonga, in my opinion. I think Sambi has more of a future than Patino, to be honest. I know a lot of people prefer Patino. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Patino's an English academy player and Sambi isn't. And Patino probably has he has a better attitude as well. But in terms of their actual ability as footballers, I think Sambi has more ability. I think we'll sell Patino, to be honest, in the summer. I do think we'll sell him. We got him to sign a new contract, and I'm certain that was just so that we could sell him. Would you consider Victor Boniface as an Arsenal striker? Looks good and has a good potential. So the thing with there's that for me is like the next level down of very good strikers that definitely have potential, but the next striker we buy has to be on the top level. It has to be the Osimhen. It needs to be to us what Haaland was to Man City. And we're not even at that stage, right? We're not, City were already at the stage where they were fairly comfortably winning the league most years, and they went out and got Haaland. We're not even at that stage, but we have to go out. We have to go out and get top tier. Boniface is too raw. Yeah, he's the sort of player that you bring in as you'd bring him in as an understudy to Osimhen, right? But the way the striker market is these days, someone's going to go out and buy him, and he'll be their first choice striker. In the same way that United did with Højlund, right? Sesko and Xerxes, also just that level below. Yeah, exactly. Xerxes, I think, looks really promising, but again, if we go out and get him in the summer and we have him and Jesus next season, well, in most games, I'm going to want Jesus while Xerxes learns and adapts to the Premier League and develops. And we've already established Jesus isn't good enough, right? I love him, but he's not going to take us to a title. Rory, you're going to do gaming tonight? Not tonight, but soon. I hope from Monday. I hope Monday 10 p.m. will be the first stream where I'm gaming. I also need to figure out if I'm going to do it on YouTube or Twitch or both. Can we afford Osimhen in the summer? Do we need a few outgoings? Yeah, we need outgoings, but we will have a few. Ramsdale, I think, will go. I think the only reason we keep coming out in the press, right, and when we talk about Ramsdale, and there keeps being this thing that we're thinking about, we want to keep Ramsdale and he's part of our plans. I'm certain that's just a posturing position for the summer window, right? Because if everyone knows that he's your second choice keeper and you're going to sell him, that puts them in a better position. So I think Ramsdale will be the most expensive sale we make this summer. Then you've got the likes of Tierney, Patino. Who else can we sell? I don't know. But we do need some outgoings. Do you think Osimhen will go to Chelsea, seeing as you said he's been a lifelong Chelsea fan? Yeah, I think that no. Yes. No, I don't know. Right, the thing with Chelsea is he could go to Chelsea, guaranteed 100% he'd be their starting striker. It's the club that he supposedly supports. But he might not be in the Champions League for like 2 or 3 years. And at his age now, I just don't know. There are a lot of players who have done interviews in the past where they say they've always been a fan of a certain club and then they don't go to that club because it's like, well, yeah, I was a fan of them, but they finished 10th last season and they're 11th this season. Do you know what I mean? It's like the only way I'd really see him going to Chelsea is if they slap an offer down that we just cannot match, which is absolutely possible, right? Um, but that's the only way I see it happening. What about Latoro as a striker? Yeah, I mean, Latoro Martinez this season has overperformed his XG more than any striker in the whole of Europe, which, if anything, is exactly what we need, right? We create so much XG and we massively underperform on it. So I just think bringing him in would be, I don't know. He just doesn't feel like that guy. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. How old's Martinez? How old is Martinez? Lautaro. How old is he? Lautaro. He's only 26, So he'll be 27 in the summer. Eh, he's not old. He's not old. Same age as Jesus. Yeah. If we were to go for a striker, do you think it would be Tony or Osman? I think it'll be Osman. I think it'll be Osman, and then we'll fall back on Tony. Sorry, just blocking someone on TikTok. I think I've blocked them now. Do you think Arteta will activate Frimpong's release clause? I don't know. What is his release clause? What's Frimpong's release clause? What is Frimpong's release clause? Release clause. 40 million euros. I mean, it's the sort of fullback I'd love us to have as a different option. Yeah, 40 million euros. I'd love to have it. I'd love to have it as an option. Hi, Rory. I have two questions. If you could, just ask them, Manu, and I'll try and answer them. Find it crazy how no one went for Grimaldo on a free. That's the thing, though, right? That's the thing. He was available on a free, so there is no one that can look around and say, "Oh, we missed out there because he was too expensive or whatever." He was literally free. In your opinion, is Ramsdale or Raya better? I think Raya is better for what we need. I think Raya is better for what we need. If you look at what we lacked last season in terms of the distribution, commanding boxes, coming for crosses, which weirdly earlier this season Raya looked really uncomfortable coming for crosses, but statistically he's been immense coming for crosses this season. So I think he's better for what we need. In the same way, right, that I don't actually think Ederson is a very good goalkeeper, but for what Man City need, he's brilliant. Doku, best left winger in the Premier League? No, Doku is not the best left winger in the Premier League, in my opinion. I think Doku's quite overrated. If I'm honest with you, I think he's quite overrated. I think he's got bags of potential, right? Because he is still very young and very raw. Brilliant dribbler of the ball, can take it past a man. More often than not, I think his end product has been quite poor. I don't know if that's just me, but I think his end product, he got like 4 assists in one game, right? Take those out, which I know sounds stupid, right? Because you can't just take things out from people. But I think overall, most times I watch him play, I think that end product's not good enough. So no, I think the best left winger in the Premier League, really, if you still consider him a left winger, I'd say is Heung-min Son. Doku reminds me of St. Maximin at Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, he's better than St. Maximin, but but I see what you're saying. Is Tomiyasu playing tomorrow? I hope so. Well, he might play at left back. If Zinchenko's not fit, he'll play at left back. Why doesn't Grealish get any comments about not living up to his £100 million price tag? So the thing is, right, and I agree, Ethan, I agree. But a lot of Man City players get away with not living up to their price tag because they won the treble. Because a lot of people, rightly or wrongly, will argue Grealish was an important player in them winning the treble. And that was worth 100 million quid. Like, a lot of people will argue that. There's a lad on TikTok spamming the same chat quite a lot. He's a Liverpool fan. Just ignore him. The TikTok chat's always a bit of a mess anyway. So if you want a calm, relaxed chat that I actually am able to read, get yourself over to YouTube if you're watching on TikTok. The YouTube link is in my bio. Come and subscribe as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow it a little bit. Thoughts on recent links with De Jong? I don't think there have massively been links. I think it's mainly just that he's looking to move and we might be an option. Love the new place. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, VOV. Thank you very much. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues for an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it right in the chat is an absolute legend, a top Gooner, the ultimate Arsenal fan. And coming from a United fan, I think Miles Lewis-Skelly should be used in the squad. And secondly, I hope De Jong joins Arsenal since we already have that type of player in Mainoo. Yeah, I agree. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly has got a good chance of being integrated into the squad next season. Son can't count as a left wing. I don't know. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Son, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson. Not Brennan Johnson. Well, maybe Brennan Johnson. Kulusevski mainly. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Gooner. It is time for Guess the Gooner. So, clue number 1. They made 405 appearances for Arsenal. They made 405 appearances for Arsenal. Clue number 2. They retired at Manchester City. They retired at Manchester City. Clue number 3. They won 5 Serie A titles. They won 5 Serie A titles. Some people have got it in the YouTube chat and in the TikTok chat. So I think the first person to get it correct on YouTube got that after 2 clues. Fair play. Clue number 4. They won the World Cup in 1998 and they won the Euros in 2000. And clue number 5. Their namesake currently plays for Arsenal. Their namesake currently plays for the Arsenal. And the correct answer is, of course, the one and only Patrick Vieira. Vieira. Oh, Vieira. Oh. He comes from Senegal. He plays for Arsenal. And the first person to get it correct was SS9 in the YouTube chat. Second was IZK. Third was Ethan Udall. Fourth was Harry Forward. And fifth was Tom. Couple of dodgy spellings in there, but we'll allow it. Couple of dodgy spellings, but we'll allow it. Congratulations to those 5 of you. Lots of you started getting it after that. I think the retired at Man City probably gave it away a little bit, right? Probably gave it away a little bit. You're acting like you have money. You already wasted 60 million on Havertz. You don't have the minerals. 60 million on Havertz. If you consider, this is the thing. Why do we not have the money? Loads of teams spend that sort of money on players. Why would we not have the money? I'm third on my screen. I'll have a look, Young Star, but I don't think on my screen, Young Star, you were third, but you said Parler, and then when you said Vieira, that put you 7th on my screen. Unfortunately. That's the TikTok guy. Oh, right. It's the same guy from TikTok. Arteta has admitted to not having enough money for another big signing. You already spent 200 million. Yeah, this is going to be a new year, buddy. This is going to be another summer. So it's a new year. So the money we spent last summer doesn't make a difference. If we want Frankie de Jong and Osimhen, do you not think Havertz was a complete waste of money? Where does he fit in? I think Havertz was a long-term versatility signing. I think when we signed him was because it was an opportunity that presented itself. I don't think long-term Arteta envisioned Havertz starting. I genuinely don't. I think he sees him as a versatile player, which is the sort of signing that Man City would make, right? Man City happily spend 60, 50 million on a player that they're not going to use very much. Arsenal probably weren't in the position at the time to do that, but they saw the option to do it. Now, I'm still not saying that was the right signing, a smart signing, or any of the rest of it, but the wages he's on are steep. I will admit that the wages he's on are steep. Why did you stop uploading on YouTube? I was just really stretched for time. The internet at my old place, it took me ages to sort it out. And by the time I sorted it, I hadn't uploaded for ages. And then I was going to move flat. And so I decided I wanted to wait until I was in the new place and could just come back full time properly. I mean, not full time. It's not my job. But Night Rory, got to revise. Hope the stream goes well. Good luck with your revision. I am glad my days of revising are well and truly behind me. That's for sure. Rice for 105 million and Rodri for 60. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Rodri for 60 million. Obviously, 60 million when Man City bought Rodri is worth a lot more than 60 million now. But yeah, I mean, no one's arguing that Rodri was a brilliant signing. That's for sure. Havertz has been class this year. Other club fans don't want Arsenal properly and only go on lack of numbers, which you won't get as much in the new position. Yeah, I think Havertz gets overly hated. I do think Havertz gets overly hated. Rodri ain't English. Yeah, exactly. Rodri isn't English, wasn't in the Premier League. Can you do 10 kick-ups? Yes. My football ability is not actually too bad. It's not too bad. My fitness, on the other hand, that is unfortunate. Who's Rodrigo Muniz? He scored twice for Fulham today. Let's do Guess the Non-Gooner. Guess the Non-Gooner. Career path of a player. I've got a good one today, actually. I think this is quite a fun career path. So get your fingers ready on TikTok and on YouTube. If you're on TikTok and you want to get involved, get your name read out for getting it in the top 5. Then get yourself over to YouTube through the link in my bio. Drop a cheeky subscription. Let's get into it. So, this player started their career at River Plate. They went to Corinthians. They went to West Ham, where they went on loan to Liverpool, then permanently to Liverpool, then Barcelona, HBCFFC, and Estudiantes LP. So River Plate, Corinthians, West Ham, Liverpool on loan, Liverpool permanently, Barcelona, HBCFFC, and Estudiantes LP. And people have started getting it now. It was not Carlos Tevez. It was not Chuy Suarez. It wasn't Alvarez. It was Javier Mascherano and Ross Lawman. Ross Lawman back on top, baby. It's been a while. He actually put Mascherani, but we'll give him Mascherano. Given that the person in second was AA and he put Mascherona. So congratulations to Ross Lawman. Lots of people got it on TikTok as well, by the way. Very quick, the people on TikTok. If you're saying I was first on TikTok, I read the names off YouTube, not off TikTok. Because on YouTube, I can go back and see the names. On TikTok, I can't. If you want to get involved in the YouTube version, get yourselves over through the link in my bio to the YouTube chat. That's where the goats are. That's where the legends are. So Ross Lawman was first. AA was second. Carl was third. Ethan Udall was fourth. And Declan James was fifth. There you go. Bonkers LFC just missed out in sixth. Congratulations to Ross Lawman. What a game. Few, spelling is shocking. Appreciate the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. I mean, there aren't many other players that it could have been mistaken for, to be fair. If you could bring back any past Arsenal player, who would it be? If you could bring back any past Arsenal player, who would it be? What, to be like in their prime, playing for Arsenal in their prime? Oh, that's a good question. Who would I bring back? Prime player that I could bring back. And no, he specifically said it can't be Henry, because obviously we're all going to say Thierry Henry. AA says, so AA, if you were first on your screen, that's because when you type a message and press send, it instantly shows it on your screen, and then it waits for other people to load through. I get it at the actual. It's to do with like internet ping and stuff. So I'm sorry, but I have to go. Who's first on mine? Sanchez. No, not Aaron Ramsey. Not Aaron Ramsey. I like Aaron Ramsey, but I do think sometimes we look back on him and overrate him a little bit. Van Persie. No, Van Persie's an absolute snake. Van Persie's an absolute snake. He's coming nowhere near it. Bergkamp. Yeah, Bergkamp's a shout, you know. Thing is, if it's for the current team, part of you wants to just go for an absolute back. Like, part of me would just go Ian Wright. Part of me would go Ian Wright. My very first thought was Cesc Fabregas. Prime Fabregas. The season before he moved to Barcelona. Unbelievable. But then part of me is like, for what we need right now, Ian Wright. Bergkamp, Tony Adams. Thing is, like, we don't need a Tony Adams anymore. I think we're fine. Patrick Vieira. Yeah, but again, Vieira's like, who would you... Vieira and Declan Rice are like, they do the same thing too much. Prime Fabregas was 16, 17 Chelsea. No, I'm sorry. Prime Fabregas was his final year, 18 months at Arsenal, in my opinion. Santi Cazorla. Yeah, I mean, Santi, right? I would love to see Santi play one more time in an Arsenal shirt. I would love it. Perez, Ljungberg. Nah, but the thing is, would Ljungberg be a massive upgrade on Saka off the right? I don't think so. Perez would be big off the left. Ashley Cole is a shout. We do have issues at left back. Nah. I think for me it would... I think I'd go Fabregas, you know? And then Ian Wright would be second. And Bergkamp would be third. That would be my top three. Fabregas, Wright, Bergkamp. They'd be the ones. Favourite Arsenal moment from last season? Mine was winning at Spurs. My favourite Arsenal moment last season was... I mean, I genuinely do. Okay, so Cookie, you've gone from just typing shite to now just spamming, and now you've been banned. What an evening for you that was. No, I didn't forget Henry. It specifically said I couldn't use Thierry Henry in the question. Yeah, apologies in the YouTube chat for that, cretin. Apologies for that. I've lost my trail of thought as well now. What? That's so annoying. What's the biggest liability in our current squad? And opinions on Timber being on our Champions League squad. So Timber was always going to be in the Champions League squad, right? Because we had room for it. In terms of senior players, like Cedric's in it, right? There's so much. You can take 25 players in the senior squad, and then you can put half of the youngsters and stuff on the B list. So there was no reason not to have him in the Champions League squad. I don't think he's going to play in either of the Porto games, to be honest. But it's good to have him in the squad. Parla or Gilberto is a utility player for the midfield. Depth. Yeah, true. Leao wants to leave Milan. Do you think we should be in for him? Nah. I don't think so. How far do you think we'll get in the Champions League? It all depends on the draw you get, right? But I think there's no reason we shouldn't reach the semi-finals. Semi-finals, I think. Porto at home, he might get a sniff. I tell you what, I've got my ticket for Porto at home. I won the ballot for Porto at home, so I would love to see him come on for 10 minutes. Imagine that, right? Champions League game, progress to the next round at home. Timber gets minutes. Oh, God, I'm just happy now. I'm thinking about that. If Salah goes for 200 million, do you think Liverpool come knocking for Saka? They can knock all they want, mate. They can knock all they want for Bukayo Saka. No one's going to answer the door to that one. See you later, son. You know? Come back to that on a Ring doorbell. I'm devastated the Arsenal kit you're wearing was only used a few times. Yeah, it's a disgrace. Saw you at WrestleMania last year, bro. I don't know if that's an insult or whatever, but you didn't see me at WrestleMania. I'll be honest, I've seen quite a lot of talk about wrestling recently on my timeline from like football content creators getting hyped up about wrestling. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll be honest with you. I cannot understand the hype for wrestling. How's your FPL? FPL's in the mud. Oh, imagine coming back on a second account. What a loser. Genuinely. So the guy's come back on a second account called Sam, right? And his first account was called Cookie, which is normally a nickname for someone with the surname Cook. So basically, he's called Sam Cook, right? Sam Cook, on a Saturday night, has now gone across 2 different accounts to spam Liverpool European Champions EU in a YouTube stream, which has 70 viewers. Right? We've got 70 viewers on YouTube. Now I'm buzzing with 70 viewers, but let's be real. You're not playing up to a massive audience here. Just have a little reevaluation of your life, right? It's a Saturday evening. Yeah. Just have a little reevaluation, Sam. Do you think Declan Rice could be our future captain if Martin left? Yeah, 100%. I don't think Martin will leave though. But his full name is Sam Cannot Cook. Yeah, absolutely. Favorite moment from last season? Oh yeah, I think it was Bournemouth. I honestly do think it was that Bournemouth goal. It was just madness. Like the crowd, because the crowd, to be honest, that Bournemouth game, right? The crowd was crap. The crowd sucked that game. It was a 3:00 kickoff on a Saturday. Everyone expected Arsenal to win. The crowd sucked. 70 amazing people. Oh, don't get me wrong. Not dissing the 70 people watching. I'm delighted that you're here. But yeah, that Bournemouth game, it was such a bad crowd. And then, yeah, that winner, it was just absolute limbs. Absolute limbs. Partey strike against Spurs. Yeah, that was a big moment. That was a big moment, to be fair. I caught that on camera, I think. I was sat there recording on my phone for some reason. If you could sign one big player this summer and you can choose between De Jong, Osimhen, and Tony, who would you choose? Osimhen. We have to go for it. We have to go big on a striker. We have to. And for me, that would be Osimhen. Do you work? I do. I do work as a freelance. I work as a freelancer, which is good because I don't work full time, which is means I can spend more time making content. To be honest, that's mainly thanks to TikTok. But I'll always be honest with you. If I could start making the same amount from YouTube that I make from TikTok, then I could go full time. What is a freelancer? It means that I'm not employed by anyone, but I work on contracts. So I'll work for a company for X amount of time for X amount of money on a contract, but I'm not like an employee. So it's like, in some ways it's good because you set your own hours. You don't have to go into work. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But in some ways it's bad because you don't get the sort of traditional benefits that you get as an employee. And you also don't get pension contributions, but it's good. Did I go to uni? I did go to uni, yeah. I've got a degree in economics. Which I've done absolutely nothing with. But I graduated into the pandemic, so it was all a bit carnage. How do you get into that? It's not something you can really get into, to be fair, Hartley. Well, it is something you can get into. It was just I got to the point where I didn't need to be working full time, so I didn't need full time employment, and at that point, it just made sense to. It can be difficult to find. He's come back with a third account, by the way, which is interesting. That's a third account. Interesting behavior. He also seemingly now supports QPR. Fair play to him. Fair play. Would you rather have Prime Sanchez or Prime Hazard? I would rather have Prime Sanchez than Prime Hazard. Prime Sanchez, to me, unstoppable. Prime Hazard also was unstoppable. But for me, Prime Sanchez. Will Watkins go to Arsenal at any point? And what price do you think he'd go for? And would you sign him for Arsenal? I don't think he will. I don't think Villa really need to sell anyone. He's just signed a massive contract with them as well. And if they can get top 5 and it gets them Champions League, I think he'll stay there. Would you start Ramsdale or Raya? Raya for me. Bale. Prime Bale. Prime Hazard, prime Sanchez. For me, it would be Bale, it would be prime Bale 1, prime Sanchez 2, prime Hazard 3, I think. Prime Gareth Bale could score from anywhere. He could take it past anyone. He was a massive aerial threat. Like, there are very few. It's just injury ruined him. I mean, injury really. Prime Salah? See, it's difficult. I don't know. Prime Salah, because the thing is, what is Prime Salah? Because the reason that I put Salah above Hazard, above Sanchez, above any of them in any debate is consistency and longevity. The fact that Salah's done it for like 5-6 seasons, ridiculous consistency, for me, puts him above them in terms of just overall player. But if you're talking like prime, I mean, Salah's was it his first or second season at Liverpool? But then I actually think he's a better player now than he was then. I don't know. It's tough. It is tough. Thoughts on Bruno Guimaraes today? Oh, Bruno was brilliant today. I could see, because there's been talk about Newcastle potentially needing to sell players in the summer. I could see a top team coming in for Bruno Guimaraes. I could. I'm hoping he gets booked in the next game, because then he'll be suspended against Arsenal, which would be ideal. What does Arsene Wenger and Rory have in common? An economics degree. Yeah, I mean, he didn't do much with his either, to be fair. Admittedly, he did go on to be one of the greatest managers the Premier League's ever seen, and I didn't. But, you know, there's still time. There is still time. I need to go and start managing in Japan, and then we'll be fine. Score prediction for tomorrow's game, 4-1 to Arsenal. Prime Coutinho or Prime Isco? Prime Coutinho. Prime Coutinho at Liverpool was magic. How long are you going to be live for? Unfortunately, we've been going for basically an hour. So unfortunately, I am pretty much going to wrap it up here. Goal scorers tomorrow. Final question. Goal scorers tomorrow. Well, I've gone for a 4-1 prediction. I'm going to go Saka 1, and it'll be a penalty. Ødegaard with 2 goals, and Gabriel Magalhaes with a bullet header. That's what I'm going for. Gabriel, Ødegaard twice, and Bukayo Saka. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream today. In future, like I said, these are going to be from 10 until midnight. I'll be playing games and just chatting in general. Obviously, the normal streams will be back 6:30 as well, that are just talking about football and Arsenal. But until then, if you've enjoyed the stream and you're on the YouTube, if you could subscribe, like the video before you jump off, that would be much appreciated. And other than that, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I'll be live tomorrow for a watch along for the Arsenal game, so make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, have a good evening. Goodbye. Au revoir. And on